you here?
I want to make friends.
Okay. Can you put yourself on mute if you're not once you're not talking?
You see what?
When you finish talking, you put yourself on mute because there's a lot of background noise.
I say I want to make friends with you, if you don't mind.
But you have a radio in the background, so we can't hear you that well.
You don't hear me?
We hear a radio in the background.
So that former speaker, Ghost of Lou, is a young guy who died on. He's from Clubhouse. He passed on about 3-4 weeks ago.
Oh, tell us. I don't know about this.
Yeah, he's part of this room called Ultra Derecha, put on by this guy named Robert Taylor, who is an anti-Semite. You could call him, a low IQ neo N-word. And so somebody, I think it's Bussy, if you know who Bussy is. I'm pretty sure Danny knows Bussy. Bussy is this African-American gay guy who probably absolutely hates the people in this room. And so he created this account of the Ghost of Lou, and he goes into rooms and says N-word because this guy Lou used to love to use the N-word. But anyways, that's who the Ghost of Lou is. And they hate me. And he was live streaming that room into this room. But those people in that room kick me out of the room every time. But somebody else also live streams the room with an anonymous account onto YouTube. And because they're so profane and vulgar, YouTube, will issue community guideline strikes against the account because they constantly, use profanity, vulgar, racism, extremism. Those are the kinds of guys they are. Tiny little schmeckles.
And they need to find their own.
He's, I was like, why are you doing this? He's like, it's like my, N-word art project. But really, I think it's just depressed, lonely people, like disconnected from themselves and from family and wisdom. And thus, that's what you get. If there's no God or wisdom in your life, you're just like a racist, basically. Because you're not transcendental. You can't transcend above your race politique.
But how lonely, right? I mean, they're lonely. They're just sitting in their own hate.
Yeah. Yeah, loneliness breeds, or does boredom breed? Anyways, it's loneliness and boredom, but they just, I don't feel bad for them anymore. I don't feel bad for anybody who wants to come on here and do their show, Everybody's
I don't even want to take, there are rooms that I've been in that people just want to hear and let them go and they're jamming at them. And I can't waste my time like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous, because these are anonymous people who are mentally ill.
It's easy to say they're mentally ill, but really they're just stupid. There's definitely a quotient between intelligence and I know mental illness, sometimes it can't be prevented, because the body is atrophying or in entropy. So I don't know. I'm in the book club, Grace. That's it. It's like
what? I think that very intelligent people have mental illness. There might be some horseshoe. I don't know if that's true either, but
it's possible.
When you're really dumb, it's easier to just live your life. Ignorance is bliss. Well, when it comes to the smarter you are, the more likely you are to have depression, at least.
Not necessarily, because I think a lot of if you go to the Christian evangelical rooms on here or the Calvinist rooms, I think they're depressed, personally, hearing them speak. I think they're depressed. But I think that's because they're not that intelligent. They can't even play with certain concepts. Anyways, people are stuck in their pattern. They're stuck in their show. They can't take on, other roles on the stage here. They're very typecast, basically.
pictured as a disease. It can't be the best thing for the body or the mind over time.
Exactly. I mean, they're angry. Like my sister was texting me yesterday about how she's got like chronic back pain and she has scoliosis, and I sent her this book called How to Cure Your Back Pain by Dr. John Sarno. It talks about the mind body connection and how anger can manifest in back pain. It can manifest in shoulder pain, like because the brain is trying to essentially focus your attention away from the underlying anger or sadness or depression or rage. There's a lot of different, there's a whole spectrum of words we can use to describe emotional states, but basically it's like subconscious. Um, and when you start looking at brain science, the brain is can be a real bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like the brain can fuck with you because it's trying to flip you, or if that makes any sense. I don't know. It's trying to like change what you're doing or what you're thinking, and giving you physical maladies. Now this is like hypothetical, like don't take it literally. But when you read the book, it's amazing. I had horrible back pain and I just got out of a relationship, a lot of stress. And to me, stress is the number one cause of maladies, in the body.
Yeah. I would go with that theory. I would go with that theory. There's physical hurt where you've broken a leg, and there's also the mental and physical realities when there's more negativity than positivity.
See, the problem is people don't believe that their physical pain, especially if you got lower back pain, is connected to behavior. So if you're not stretching your hamstrings on the regular, if you're not like reading a book on personal improvement, like the Tanya, or trying to like increase your intelligence. See, this is what the whole thing is how do you cultivate intelligence? But it's more than that. I can prove that nobody's actually stupid. Everybody's really just a fool. Because if you were to read to me a book for 10 minutes to an hour, and you comprehended it and I comprehended it, it's almost like you wrote it, meaning that now you possess that intelligence that you just read. So technically nobody's stupid. Everybody has this amazing ability to immediately access what you could call supreme intelligence or divine intelligence, because it's right there in a book.
Can you say it again was what I'm talking?
What if it all lies in the ether?
Yeah, it might lie in the ether, but you still got to go to the fishing pond to catch a fish. So it doesn't matter. You still got to take the journey every day to go back there to get your food supply, which is what you could call mana. This is just like me playing with this stuff, but I think,
I thought that the mana was going to fall from the sky.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but the sky is the air or fire, and the water is like a reservoir of emotions. So anyways, this is all just like mystical, alchemical philosophy, esoteric poetry, to essentially frame your mind with joy, happiness, love, that type of terminology. Because most people on this app are so toxic, so profane, you'd think you were in like a dirty nightclub perpetually. And if that's what people's brains are putting out, it's because they're not putting in anything new. You have to eat the words and read the books if you want to change your emotional disposition and change your personality. Because if you got a toxic personality, good luck going out on a date and having any success.
I mean, if you have a toxic personality, you just hire a prostitute.
I get it, but look at Rob Reiner's son. That kid has effective he's a schizophrenic, basically. heavy drug user. I was just reading about Nick Reiner today.
Me too,
Yeah.
in the past week.
Holy shit! Like nobody wants to visit him. Nobody wants to have anything to do with him. Nobody. And his parents, despite the fact that I don't like what his father's political position is, and that he worked with the CIA to produce anti-Trump, content, etc. The guy was super successful. Castle Rock was like they put out some amazing movies, and the movie he made with his son Nick called like I don't know, I can't remember the name, like Timmy or Jimmy or something. It made $55,000. That was it. So the dad really tried his best for his son. Seemed very loving, but also strange that you would kiss your son on the lips, like in an open kiss. Like that's disgusting. Like who wants to feel like a sensation of your father's lips on your like? Ugh.
Did you hear the rumors from like some?
It's like cultural.
No, there was a roast that someone pulled up that was like really old, and they said there was some weird joke.
I saw that.
Did
Yeah.
you hear about that?
Yeah, he said you could come over to my house and fuck my son. That's what he said. That's what Rob Reiner said at his roast. Yeah, actually, El Normo sent me that. I was like, holy fuck, this is bizarre.
What about El Normo?
He sent me that Rob Reiner roast after his murder by his son. And like, I mean, as a son who has a father who, I love my father, never have I ever had a thought that I would ever like harm a hair on my father's head. So, that's because my dad was always like loving and honorable and cared for me to his best abilities, never abused me.
Have you ever kissed your dad on the lips?
No. And when I was in the army, I give him a kiss on the cheek. We give a hug. Like to kiss a man or your father on the lips. I mean, I had a drill sergeant in the army who asked everybody in the platoon, "Who here has kissed your father on his lips?" And this drill sergeant was like, "That's gay, right? That's gay that you would kiss your daddy on his lips. That's fucking gay." Like, and I was like dying laughing because I'm like, that's pretty gross, But what I'm saying is there's gross people out there. And, there's people that break the law with regards to incest and abuse and sex and all this stuff. And it's like, it's pervasive. I personally, it's not a question of am I against it. I don't even really want to answer that question because I think there's more to it than just being, a yes or no on that. I think there's like a lot of factors,
You're just selectively moral, so whatever is accepted by the law under your current regime, you're okay with it. But if it's something with
no, that doesn't mean I'm okay with it.
Your political party disagreed with, then it's a fucking problem.
Well, that's what I think is the interesting part about all of this is that, like you said, the laws of the regime. So it's just interesting to like think how. Anyways, I'm just talking about history basically, but. I don't really have a point on this. I was just like really interested to read that article today about this poor bastard who slaughtered his parents.
And I say it openly. You should have the balls to say that too.
I do have the balls. I do have the balls to. I do. I critique. No, I do. You don't know me. And I'm on the internet for 5 years talking all the time. I'm very critical of LGBTQ. Extremely critical of homosexual behavior.
Say that being gay is wrong.
Well, I like to say I don't really care how you choose to orgasm. I got better fucking things to do than to sit here and worry and possibly prosecute you under the law because you choose to have an orgasm with the same sex.
Why are you criticizing incest? Listen.
Oh my God, the ghost is here. Speak of the devil, and he will appear. Ghost is here. Do you know Ghost? Ghost is a former Clubhouse user who has passed on to the next life, greener pastures. I was criticized because I said let's celebrate his passing, not in a negative way, like I had a beef against him or disliked him. I follow the guy on 30 Instagram accounts. What was that, Freddie?
You should be a politician.
I think that you were saying it negatively. When I heard people criticize that you said to celebrate, I saw it as a positive thing, and I would hope that when I die, people want to celebrate me as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about like if I passed on, would people like celebrate my passing like positively, negatively? Because I've put
People would say that he didn't have balls. That will be written on your gravestone.
you
He
might
had
be
no balls.
Freddie, I hate to tell you, I hate to project this to you, but you might be projecting.
I might be projecting, but my stance is clear. Yours is not.
No, see, I don't consider the question.
You're a hypocrite and you know it.
I'm not a hypocrite. I don't consider the question. That's my point. And I think you could ask Grace and Danny here, meaning that like I won't entertain the question because I got better fucking things to do.
Danny or Grace are liberal. Their answer is already pretty clear. You're just afraid of getting yourself into trouble. That's all it is. And you know what you call that? You call that person a coward. And on the streets, we call them a pussy.
You took care of it already.
Huh?
You took care of it already.
Freddie,
Yeah.
Freddie, don't you know what they say about people that make assumptions?
What'd you say?
I said, don't you know, about people that make assumptions? You're making an awful lot of assumptions about me after only talking with me for like 5 seconds. It's a lot of assumptions, my friend. And if you don't know what people talk about when they talk about people that make assumptions, it means that you are an ass. Have you ever been called an asshole?
I have. What's your point?
Well, I'm just saying I might be projecting when I say you're an asshole, but sometimes it takes an asshole to know an asshole. But let me ask you something. Are you a homo?
It's ask, not ask, first of all.
Really, this is not this type of room anymore.
Grace, this is a comedy routine. I'm trying to make a point here.
But Grace, one second, Grace. Did he or did he not answer? He didn't answer my question. Do you agree with that, at least?
I really don't want to entertain either one of your questions, so.
No, but you wouldn't, buddy.
Well, I'm not asking you a question, Grace. I was just trying to ask Freddie if he was a Homo sapien. Jeez Louise, you keep talking about homosexuality. I was just talking about a Homo sapien, my friend. Are you a Homo sapien?
You were talking about incest. You were talking about incest being immoral.
Listen, moderators, you are in control of this non-recorded public room, and I will just say that I plan on reading a book. If you'd like, if I can request 60 seconds of the beautiful moderator's time, I'd like to.
Just fucking say it.
I'd like to.
Stop kissing up to the fucking moderator. You look like a coward pussy.
Point of order, moderators. Moderators, point of order. This vulgarity will not stand, and I'm requesting 60 seconds of your time to read from what's called.
Just read, or just start reading. Go ahead.
Okay, pick a number one.
Listen to the white woman.
Pick a number 1 through 100, and I will go to that page in my magic book. What's your number, Grace or Danny?
The white woman gave you an order. Go ahead and listen.
What's your number? You want number 10? That's the best number for a Jew to pick. It's a good one. Okay, this is a meditation. It's very quick. Take the deepest breath of the day.
That's a microwave. That sounds good. Next. Yeah, I swear. I agree with Dylan.
Okay, this is the 10th chapter from the Tao Te Ching. In keeping the spirit and the vital soul together, are you able to maintain the perfect harmony? In gathering your vital energy to attain suppleness, have you reached the state of a newborn babe? In washing and clearing your inner vision, have you purified it of all dross? In loving your people and governing your state, are you able to dispense with cleverness? In the opening and shutting of Heaven's Gate, are you able to play the feminine part? Enlightened and seeing far into all directions.
I'm so fucking bored.
Can you, at the same time, remain detached
You both should leave. Freddie Lee should leave.
and non-active?
Why should I leave? He said he was bored.
Rear
I'm not bored. I'm entertained.
your people. Feed your people. Rear them without claiming them for your own. Do your work without setting any store by it. Be a leader, not a butcher. This is called hidden virtue.
What the fuck is that sound?
It's a Zen bell.
Oh, I thought somebody else was doing it. Fuck me.
No, it was
You're pretty much trolling your soul. I thought somebody else was doing that shit.
Danny, I gotta go. You
Grace,
still
where you going, sweetheart?
to work. I'm a clergy person. Johnny, are you still
I've
there?
never heard somebody say I'm a clergy person 2025. Six.
Okay, I'm gonna go too.
I'm a clergy person.
Bye, Grace. Bye, Danny. Bye, Freddie. Have a great day.
Yeah? Take care.
Bye, Black. Don't be back, Black.
Okay, welcome to the fake British accent society. Oh, this is funny. He was right, actually. You're trolling yourself. Oh my god, that was so funny. So what's funny about the fake British accent society is that I read these spiritual sacred text documents in a fake British accent. I don't think it's like an Alan Watts impersonation. I think it's just like a John Kitover, character. You could call it the British John Kitover as opposed to the American John Kitover. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see if anybody wants to come in and listen to Sacred Text Hypnosis with Candidate John, a write-in candidate. I might add, the only write-in candidate for the 16th district, attempting to unseat and defeat Darren LaHood and liberate the people of Rockford, Peoria, Bloomington, Peckins, Chillicothe. There's so many towns. There's like, let's just say 50 towns in about 15 districts or 15 counties. And it's been a journey. We started this journey in August, and we have battled people on the left, on the right. And you could call this center point research. Some people know what center point research is. It's essentially a frequency or a vibration of positivity, of joy, not of fear. Because the only thing you have to fear is fear itself. All the debt and all the money that all the Americans owe, it's actually rather arbitrary, just like mathematics and numbers. Because if you look at words and numbers or letters and numbers, they're all symbols. And so we have a communication problem in society today that will be resolved through words and not through violence. I'm 100% sure of that, because violence is acceleration of entropy, and it really solves nothing. It gives nobody, it does not give the group a higher standard of living. It's actually, it needs to be a contained percentage of the collective association, if that makes any sense. It has to be within bounds. You could say that, $2 trillion is too much a year, but I think if they strip it of all the inefficiencies and political wokeness that exists, and remove certain people from that part of the group, it would be for the betterment. Obviously, it would be for the betterment of the group, but this is life. It's all political. So this is the John Kitover Candidate Congressman podcast. Go to Facebook.com. It's now 11:35 a.m. CST 124:26. Thank you for coming to the Fake British Accent Society and the John Kitover Congressman, Illinois 16 House here on Clown House. We're also live streaming this onto multiple X accounts, and we are praying and playing that you have the best weekend of your life. May today and this reading, this evocation and invocation help illuminate you, elucidate you, and heal you and protect you. Taking on position that he was Israel. That's what I'm not pushing back on it. His reference in the speech being about the literal place. I just want to recant how we got here. Yes, it's a literal place, so the promised land that he's referenced. Where we depart is you not taking the standard or agreeing. Sure, no problem. Where we seem to have a difference of opinion was I brought up the position that when he the promised land, it was an analogy to much like Moses. That's what your mountaintop, because Moses never reached the promised land. Moses saw it from the mountaintop, and he saw it, but he saw how close he was, but he never reached it. And that was the whole point. It was an analogy to he might not necessarily see in his lifetime where black people could be free and black people could live in harmony and freedom, much like how Israel was in freedom when it escaped Egypt's grapple. That was what this whole speech was about. And I'll point to in the speech, which he was asking a sister to do, I think it's stanza 6 or 7, where he starts off saying, something is happening in our world. The masses of people are rising up, and wherever they are assembled today, whether they are in Johannesburg, South Africa, Nairobi, Kenya, Accra, Ghana, New York City, Atlanta, Georgia, Jackson, Mississippi, or Memphis, Tennessee, the cry is always the same. We want to be free. This is about freedom. This is about the forms of oppression across the historical timeline that black people has faced. Now, he's amalgamating all the oppressions of people in other different countries, of other different ethnicities. But this MLK speech about the freedom land is not about him now taking on some ideology or theological perspective that black people are Israel. Now, he's likening to...
Yes, the hell it is.
It is an analogy to the freedom and oppression.
We did it.
I'm going to read the other part about what and then confuse him even more. See, that's about us.
Jillian Santonio, supervillain, 1 second, please. I want to let Sush, man.
Yeah, that was my last. That was
All right,
my
go ahead. You need to take
I just wanted to say that though. I'm not going to read that other part.
I'm supervillain wanted to go actually. It was supervillain next. You welcome.
So, yes, thank you, Ezra.
Supervillain next, Antonio. I was wrong for saying you. My bad. Supervillain said he wants to go immediately after C.
I'm not the supervillain.
Yeah, I just want to comment on, to me, from that speech there, I don't see that MLK talk about realizing Israel. I see more about the next speech when you mentioned in the land of dry bones, more than leaning towards us talking about Israel. Even he's a Muslim, then MLK in that speech. That's all I'm going to comment, man. If you look at his Malcolm X speech, he mentioned dry bones. Now I'm in the land of dry bones. So I'm paraphrasing. So, if some people know what I'm talking about, don't talk about the one that know you can pull it up and listen to it. And then to me, him being a Muslim, he realized he's usually getting like me, and then more in this speech here in the case getting. He's talking about the freedom of things that he's not going to, he hoped he will see this lifetime, but he's not. So really, like he did once in the morning, if I see little black boys, little black girls, which we do see that in today's time, getting racial marriage and stuff like that. So, To me, this is more professor, more poetic. For as okay, I wish I see my lifetime, and you want to say it's a future.
Here we go.
That's fine.
2.5 centuries ago, men and women on this soil made a choice that could not be undone. They chose to stand apart from the British Empire.
Free.
John, you're launching as a write-in candidate. That's an uphill run. Why take it?
And what happened to the children of Israel? That's what slavery was all back to the town period.
Yoga is the foundation for me. Yoga is my hips and shoulders. Teaches balance and keeps the joints happy. Big breath in.
And you will see how the children of Israel fought through these dark times in Egypt, like we are fighting under slavery. How they crossed over the Red Sea.
Plus the number that's got me shaking my head is 34 trillion. That's where the national debt sits right now.
I'm about to read the last stanza so y'all can hear this. Not what that man talking about.
We all agree on something.
Yeah, right in John Kitover.
John, meet me out here.
Stood up for soybean folks, John. We're glad to stand up.
John Kitover, and I'm running as a write-in for Congress Tuesday, March 17th. On election day, find the write-in box and go to vote, ask for a Republican ballot.
San Antonio, but I just wanted to say this. And y'all can't just look at the whole thing.
Yeah, I can't see him with a gun. There was like 6 people beating him up at the same time. He looked like he was covering his face, but I never see a gun.
No, they're saying there's the guy in the green. They're saying, well, excuse me. What I'm seeing, I could be wrong. I'm speaking for myself. Is that the guy Ben Spinoza?
I'll say rolling out into one app for my sales guy.
Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this. Absolutely, categorically false. Okay? Everybody has a.
You care for the people's welfare.
Snipe?
Interrupt chat. No, I understand. I interrupt chat. No,
Okay, this is black white.
you know, they're not very straightforward when it comes to the law.
Assalamu alaikum.
Specifically says, don't eat with automatic,
Hey, I said assalamu alaikum. Can I get an alaikum assalam? Hello? What am I, chopped liver over here?
So don't want to work destroyed for that specific reason, because they okayed homosexuality and they're practiced en masse.
Hey, Rabbanu Shalom, point of order, moderator, point of order. Put me in your queue. I'd like to read a 60-second poem. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, that was my idea of the Sodom and Gomorrah thing, was because a lot of immorality was happening at that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say, oh no, it was about the rape. They're trying to move away from the true reason why God destroyed it. They're trying to play it LGBTQ friendly, this version of Christianity, which is...
Rabbanu Shalom, could it maybe be a metaphor if everybody in your village or city is a homosexual? I mean, the whole thing will just fucking collapse, right?
What do you think of homosexuality music?
No, not having enough babies to get going, but at the same time, they practice open relationship with other men, bisexuals, running rampant. You know, everybody's just. The thing is, the moment you okay it, when you okay that, forget fornication and forget adultery at that point. It's just open. Do whatever, act up on whatever.
I just want to quote Tony Soprano when he said, "Fuck it, do whatever you want. Fuck it, fuck it,
You get fucked in the end.
fuck it, do whatever you want. Fuck it, do whatever you want to do. Fuck it."
Anyway, just give me fucking 60 seconds. Go on, music.
Yeah, tell us.
Okay, this is from Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching. Pick a number 1 through 20.
What the fuck is this magic trick, dude?
I'm gonna read from a book.
Number 9.
You want number 9? Okay. This is the 9th. This is a very short one. And somebody put in the cliff notes, overachieving sucks. This is the 9th verse from Lao Tzu. It says, as for holding to fullness, far better were it to stop in time. Keep on beating and sharpening a sword, and the edge cannot be preserved for long. Fill your house with gold and jade, and it can no longer be guarded. Set store by your riches and honor, and you will only reap a crop of calamities. Here is the way of heaven. When you have done your work, retire.
What is fortune cookie wisdom? What is it crap? I don't know. Where's it reading from?
It's Lao Tzu Tao Te Ching. I'm sure it doesn't sound to me like you're a native English speaker, so you might want to try to read more books, increase your intelligence, like Barth here, who spends a lot of time reading very intelligent books. Barth has shared with me some very intelligent books that I've read with Barth, and I thank you for your time here. I'm sorry you have attention deficit disorder, Arbon. I wish you well.
What did you do? Read biology books, increase your intelligence about what? About what? Just any books? What are you suggesting? Tell us. What? Pile it up, math books, increase my intelligence. How good does it do to me? To understand the reality, God, salvation, purpose of life. What? What do you know? What do you read? You got a list?
Well, what's better than telling you my list of books is just reading to you from the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. Have you read the Tao Te Ching, The Great Way of the Tao?
We have prophets of God telling us the reality and the purpose of life. Read some Chinese guy in some village.
Well, you just started screaming about piling up the math books, biology. Moderators, let me just demonstrate. Can I get another 60 seconds of your time? Pick another number, 1 through 50. Which number? Go ahead. Tell me which page.
19.
Number 19 from Lao Tzu. So take the deepest breath of the day and hold it for 10 seconds. This is the 19th verse by Lao Tzu. Drop wisdom, abandon cleverness, and the people will be benefited 100-fold. Drop humanity, abandon justice, and the people will return to their natural affections. Drop shrewdness, abandon sharpness, and robbers and thieves will cease to be. These 3 are the crisscross of Tao, and are not sufficient in themselves. Therefore, they should be subordinated to a higher principle. See the simple and embrace the primal. Diminish the self and curb the desires.
What does it say about homosexuality? Wisdom is about homosexuality. That's the subject here. We're just waffle random crap.
If you'll allow me to project, I'd just like to say I think you might be projecting. LGBTQ. It's not a question I entertain. This is the second room I've been. This is a Bible and Quran, sir.
Exactly. Tell us what Chinese guy says about homosexuality.
Well, let me tell you what the Quran says about homosexuality.
You retarded. It's fucking Chinese, dude. Tell us about homosexuality. Tell us.
This is what the Quran says about homos.
The subject.
Indeed, God will fulfill his messenger's vision in all truth. God willing, you will surely enter the sacred mosque in security, some with heads shaved and others with hair shortened without fear. He knew what you did not know, so he first granted you the triumph at hand. He is the one who has sent his messenger with right guidance and the religion of truth, making it prevail over all other religions, and sufficient is God as a witness. Muhammad is the messenger of God, and those who are with him are firm with the disbelievers and compassionate with one another. You see them bowing and prostrating in prayer, seeking God's bounty and pleasure. The sign of brightness can be seen on their faces on Clown House from the trace of prostrating in prayer. This is the description in the Torah. And the parable in the gospel is that of a seed that sprouts its tiny branches, making it strong. Then it becomes thick, standing firmly on its stem, to the delight of the planters on Clown House. In this way, God makes the believers a source of dismay for the disbelievers. To those of them who believe and do good, God has promised forgiveness and a great reward. If you read the glorious Quran to a disbelieving Muslim, well, look what happens. They run away. They're afraid. That's what Barth is trying to get across. That's what Barth has been doing. I finally realize what Barth's purpose is here, because for months and years, I'm like, this poor bastard's wasting all his time. And then today it finally clicked. Thank you, Barth, for permitting this moment of clarity. Narjes, welcome. How's your family in Iran? I hope their shoes weren't left in the street. How are you doing, darling?
Doing well, thank you.
Excellent. I've been reading from the Tao Te Ching this morning, from the glorious Quran, and from Rumi. Do you want to hear some poetry, my love?
Yes, of course.
Okay, pick a number 1 through 10. I'll read from the sayings of the Buddha, because you got a great booty. Okay, what number? Narjes, number, or give me a number 1 through 30.
23.
Okay, this is the 23rd chapter from the sayings of the Buddha. Many people on Clown House have never heard the sayings of the Buddha, but I love a great booty. This is called the elephant. So take the deepest breath of your day. Hold it for 10 seconds. 10, not 11. 10, not 9. This is the elephant. The elephant here in America is the Republican symbol of the party. Interesting. And then in Hinduism, Ganesha is the maximization, or the universal.
Of providence, yes.
The micro versus the macro. The macro being the all. So really, anyways, this is the Buddha. This is the sayings of the Buddha. It's called the elephant. Now, this is my information transfer to you. I hope you like this update. This is what I would call intelligence. I shall bear harsh words as the elephant in battle endures arrows, for I know that most people behave poorly. It is the tamed elephant that men lead into a crowd. A king mounts only a tamed elephant. The man who has tamed himself and patiently bears harsh words is also the best among men. The tamed mules are good. The well-bred horses of Sind are good. The mighty elephants are good. Best of all is the man who has tamed himself. One does not ride tamed animals to nirvana. Only the tamed person goes there on his well-tamed self. The elephant, Dhanapalaka, in rut, his temples steaming, restless, bound, does not eat his food at all, longing for the elephant forest. When one is sluggish, gluttonous, rolling about like a large pig stuffed with swill, one is reborn a simpleton, again and again, continuously suffering. This mind once wandered restlessly wherever it chose, but now I hold it in check, as a trainer restrains the rutting elephant with the hook. Be vigilant, protect your mind, free yourself from the difficulty of an elephant sunk in quagmire. If a man finds a companion prudent, wise, upright, and righteous, let him go with him, happy but vigilant, overcoming all danger. If a man cannot find a companion prudent, wise, upright, and righteous, let him walk alone, like the king leaving the conquered land, or an elephant roaming by himself in the forest. It is better to live alone than to have a fool for a companion. Living alone, avoid evil ways of life. Be harmless, at ease, like the elephant in the forest. It is pleasant to have companions when you need them. It is pleasant to be satisfied with whatever comes your way. It is pleasant to know virtue at the moment of death. It is pleasant to be beyond all suffering. It is pleasant to be a loving child toward your mother. It is pleasant to be a loving child toward your father. It is pleasant to show proper respect to the recluse. It is pleasant to behave respectfully to holy beings. It is pleasant to reach old age as a morally good being. It is pleasant to be of unshakable faith. It is pleasant to achieve insight. It is pleasant to abstain from evil. Okay, that was called The Elephant, read by candidate John Kitover in the 16th District, the only write-in candidate.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's called The Elephant. Just, this is all about being safe, protecting your mind. I used to be a surfer in California. I used to surf in Redondo Beach, Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach. And when you get past the breakers, which can be very difficult sometimes, exhausting, but when you're past the breakers, it's peaceful. And then you look back and you see the horizon of all the houses, these mega fucking 20, $30 million houses, as far as the eye can see. And it's a different perspective. You're out there with the sharks, and it's a little scary. There's whales out there, and there's dolphins out there. And then you gotta, anyways, my point is, it's peaceful, and it's a totally different feeling. The sound is different. It's almost like the pressure is different out there once you're past the breaking point. And so, if you read Bible and Quran, it's basically education, and it's going to rise. Your intelligence will rise in the same way that, the tide comes in and it lifts all the boats. The boats are like houses or churches within your mind. Most people have forgotten this journey or this way of living life. Everyone is so hyper addicted and attention deficit disordered. It's terrifying. I'm not really worried about any of the categorical categories of what people are talking about. I'm more worried about people, because no one's really reading books. I just read to you from the sayings of the Buddha. You will never hear another person on this app read from the sayings of the Buddha ever, ever, ever again. You'll probably never hear anybody read from the Bible or the Quran on this app again, because people just aren't doing it. And I'm not talking about reading for 15 seconds. Read for 3 minutes to 10 minutes. Give people a good information transfer. That's what we're doing. We're exchanging scripts. And most people are wasting their time not exchanging valuable scripts. I'm a script collector. I like the good stuff because I got style and taste. Je ne sais quoi. Woo! King Prose finally arrived. What is it called? Oh gosh, it's in French. I'll think of it. Touche bouger. Bouger touche. Now, Jesus, do you know what that means? Touche bouger, bouger touche?
Yeah, like, let your touche be bougie, like something like that.
The more bougie, the more touche. Anyway, it's just a joke. It's just touche bouche. It's just a fun word to say. Because aren't we really just making sounds? But can't you mix sounds with intelligence? I mean, look at your PTR, Narcissus. That is what you might call, all now, or the now all, or the all father, or all mother. It's like a kaleidoscope of the all. But look at that perimeter. It also looks like a fingerprint, but look at that perimeter, that teal space on the outside. Without that teal space, none of that white and the teal mixed, can exist. So it's a perimeter. Look at my PTR. Look at when I'm talking. You see that perimeter? This is the protection of the mind. So really, your PTR is nothing more than your mind, or this hypothetical, abstract, conceptual mind's eye. And look at Megatron's beautiful Virgin Mary. It looks like a Muslima, a beautiful Muslim from.
She's got a cross on her hijab.
Well,
she's a Christian.
I think the Serbian women might be some of the most beautiful women in the world.
Agreed.
They are something else. I think it's the mixture. It's that admixture between the Muslim and the white person. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The Muslim conqueror implanting all that genetic material into all these beautiful caucuses.
Spreading a seed.
That Islamic conqueror. Diana Rose wants to say something. Diana, why are you going around with the PTR of a black girl?
Hello.
Yeah, yes, hi, Diana.
Yes, I do have a PTR of a black woman. Is this, you have an issue about that?
Are you from the Philippines, Diana?
No, I'm black.
Where are you from?
I'm from East Africa.
East Africa? Kenya? Tanzania?
somewhere. What
Ethiopia. You're Ethiopian. Hit the nail on the head. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our time's limited because I'm going to the gym today.
Your time is limited because you don't know how to speak. Shut the fuck up. Maybe go listen to people. You fucking disgusting black nigger. Okay, sorry for that word. But
Did you just use the hard R? I'm sorry. I have to put you in the goo.
Yes.
I have to put you in the goo.
the go.
Sorry, Diana Rose, but you can't use the hard R in a Bible and Quran room. That is inappropriate vulgarity. Moving on. Narjas, do you have any? Would you like to read for the room? Can I put a link in the chat? Will you read something for 3 to 10 minutes or 3 minutes? I just love that Barth is away from the phone. There's no way he would permit this if he was actually around.
This is our lucky moment, I think.
I know, the room's better when he's not here.
Ooh.
That's not true. He's giving up. His rooms are really good. I come often. He's really educating people on so many things. Plus, he's so objective now. I have so much work to do today.
Mate, what you're about, Narjas? He's always simping for the fucking Abduls.
Okay, Narjas, here you go. Link is in the chat.
Abdul. Okay.
You just read the prologue of The Unborn, and then you can continue further if you want.
I don't have my spectacles here, but okay, I'll read it. Which one is it? The prologue of The Unborn.
Yeah, that's it.
The prologue of The Unborn. Into my loneliness. The sound of a flute in dim groves that haunt the uttermost hills. Even from the brave river they reached the edge of the wilderness. And I behold Pan. The snows are eternal above, and then their perfume smokes upward into the nostrils of the stars. Beautiful. The snows are eternal above, and their perfume smokes upward into the nostril of the stars. But what have I to do with these? To me, only the distant flute, the abiding vision of Pan. On all sides, Pan to the eye, to the ear, the perfume of Pan pervading, the taste of him utterly filling my mouth, so that the tongue breaks forth into a weird, monstrous speech. The embrace of him intense in every center of pain and pleasure. The sixth interior sense, aflame into the inmost self of him. Myself flung down the precipice of being, even to the abyss, annihilation, an end to loneliness, as to all. Pan, Pan, I, oh Pan. Oh my God, this was so beautiful. Oh, so well written.